Hi, I'm Brenda. I'm a seer, channeler, messenger for God, uh, teacher, messenger, psychic detective, prophet, oracle, seer, messenger, um, psychic detective. I don't know. There's a few in there. Prayer warrior, warrior, and spiritual warrior also. Anyway, it's November 28th at probably 6:30 now, 6:16. I just did a 5-minute video and I don't know what made it stop recording. I'm not out of space. Except I don't know how much space I do have. But I know it's not showing 2 up there, so that's a good sign. I got a while. I'm I've been having a spiritual war, as with my other videos. I've been having a spiritual war with an ex of mine and his girlfriend, wife, ex wife, girlfriend, whatever. Sneaky link. Let's not forget that. Let's give her all the credit she needs. And a Jezebel. Let's not forget that. She is the Jezebel spirit. The government put that in her. She got paid to do that. And she's been getting paid to have a contract with the U.S. government on illegal human experimentation. And she's been getting paid for Rick, my ex, and me, and whatever else she can get. And also, she's been getting money from Rick. That they stole my money. I have an inheritance that my grandparents. Oh yeah, that was on the other video. Damn, I really don't want to do all this over again. It doesn't all fit on my screen, especially here in the car. Oh, that one clicked up nice. Okay, here's Nan Pop. My grandparents, Francis and Irving Leffler, they were red rummed at the hands of. They left me a Gerber Life Insurance Fund, a I don't know how many stocks from Apple computer in 1986, and uh, bought a home next door. I've showed it in many other videos at 4638 County Road 4, Ontario Street Extension. It's right next door to where I live. I had to move in and rent a bedroom because they stole my house over 30 years ago when they did away with my grandparents. Okay. Um, let's show you Kim. Oh, well, yeah, that Kim. This woman is living in my house. She's NSA. Her name is Kim Rook Davern. She's been living in my house, my stolen house. They paid her to track me. She's NSA. Uh, she has been tracking me, coming into my home, letting others come into my home while she's tracking me. Make sure we're not going to come home and surprise the burglars, putting stuff in my house, poisoning our food, stealing my clothes or my hair out of my hairbrushes or whatever so they can do voodoo on me, or my family members. She's NSA, and this one, oops, oh, there, this one, oh, that light has a nasty glare. One in the middle, there, her, the one in the middle. And then the guy on the end, that's my cousin John. He's a real estate dirty deacon, dirty priest, dirty cop. What do you call them? Private investigators. And he was a Navy SEAL at one point. I heard. I don't know. And he was supposed to be in prison for life. But he got out. As you can see, he's not in prison. That's a. I mean, he's 50, 55, 59, right around in there. And he's up there in age. But, they're still selling houses with his name on it. There's one that I know was a marijuana farm up the road 5 miles. And the minute I made a video and said that it was up this road where I almost got a job trimming marijuana leaves off plants, immediately the house came up with a It had been empty for like a year and a half at least that I know of. And it was quite like $500,000, and it's nothing. It's just like it might have 4 levels in it, but it's nothing great, you know. It does have land, and yeah, big. They were manufacturing rugs in that home, whether it was just yeah, I just had um, whether it was rugs and marijuana or just the marijuana. I I I don't know, but I do know that as soon as I made a video giving up the house, it had a sale pending, and within 2 weeks, I've never seen a house closing go so fast. There's something illegal and dirty about that. Macmillan Realty, it was under him. Yeah, Macmillan Realty, in my area. We live in Canandaigua, New York, or at least I do. They did, but they had to flee when all this went down, and I started making videos. But they're in another home of mine somewhere. They bought with my insurance money, and they keep taking out mortgages, getting second mortgages. They've ruined my credit. They've just made sure I never had anything in my whole life. Um, she gets paid to do this to people. She did it to my ex, Rick, who she sent back in and tricked him into doing all these things against me. And she also did this to me. She was setting out to. She wants my life. She wants to eat my brain, so she can get my gifts, and she wants to just wear my skin. She really wants me gone. I have actually died 4 times in this life so far. That's part of what turned on my gifts. And then, well, trauma, I guess, did the rest. I really don't know what turned it on. Um, I never, I mean, I always had a knowing. I could just see through things, and like dealing with bureaucracy BS and just all that school BS, all the bureaucracy BS. I just always knew, had a knowing of how to get through it. But I thought everybody did, Nope, it turns out I'm special. I'm an anointed seer by God, and I'm here on a mission to wipe the planet of evil, demons, what do you call them, cults, covens, whatever, black magic, all that, and crimes done to children. Oh yeah, it's on the project list. They've just been in that woman in the middle there, and that guy on the end there, and I don't know about the other woman. I don't know. I know it's Kim's mom, and I know she was with a CIA guy, so I don't know. All bets are off on her too. I don't know. I know Kimmie's been having help from her mommy, or somebody's been having help from their mommy, and I don't think it was Rick, because Rick's mom is gone. But yet at one time they were saying that she was Rick's mom too, so I don't know. They play games. It's a karmic family line. If you can keep up with that, you're you're doing better than me. There's confirmation burp. Excuse me. Um. Okay, now I got a list. Oh, and I didn't show you. Did I show you Kim that's in my house next door? This one's Kim. She's a witch also, and she's a government hoe also. She works for the NSA, and she's in my stolen home at 4630 County Road 4, Canandaigua, New York. She just moved in at not last Christmas, but the Christmas before. No, actually, it was last Christmas. It'll be a year this December. It's been a long damn year. Um, so she tracks my car. They put a tracker on it. They put all kinds of stuff in it. They screw to the tires, screw to the brakes, and screw to the radio. Putting a tracker on there. It's a brand new car, and we already had to get a new radio in it. And the guy's like, "This never happens." But there's a crooked mechanic also where we take our car at Wester Toyota. So I don't know. Hopefully this will be his wake-up call or justification there to get his ass out of there, because he screwed my mother over twice so far, if not three times. Um, just, I mean, the radio thing was covered because it's a lease, and there's no reason it should have been dead. But the tires, that's another issue, and they were slit at the beginning, and one was bought. And then just recently, there was a perfectly placed metal sheet metal screw with a cap on it, that you can put a tiny socket over it, like, I don't know, even know, like maybe 3-4 milligram, or what do you call them, millimeters. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I don't know. I've seen a 10, and that's still very big compared to what the screw was. But it was put in there perfectly, and there's no way going down the road did that. No, you can't tell me. They've had doors. They've screwed up with their garage door opener. They have. I mean, literally, you go to leave at the same time every day to go to church, just do exercises, and just to make me look late or unprofessional or like I can't handle things, because they gave me a 5150 mental health diagnosis to take away my money. Kim dragged Wally into this, not this Kim, the other one in the picture with her mommy. Kim dragged, let's see, where's old Wally? I heard Wally got arrested a couple days ago. Maybe it's not here yet. Oh, come on. I don't know what to open it with. You decide. I don't know why the other ones didn't make me pick what to. Maybe because they got so many open. I don't know. Yeah, that's old Wally. See, he looks kind of snaky there in his professional garb, like the evil spirits, I should know these. The evil spirits, the archons. Thank you, Holy Spirit. The archons that infest these people, the elite and that, the government workers and that. If you saw Wally to look at him, he doesn't look like that. Okay, but now that he's all professional and putting on a mask to get his elections, because that's his campaign photo. He looks a little snaky. And he is a little snaky. I don't know if he's only snaky on this one thing or how many snaky things he's done, but I'm sure gotta find out, or God knows. You gotta let us find out. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I heard it. Like they did, like he was my parents. He chummed up to my grandparents, the people with the older picture from the 70s. He chummed up. He lives 3 houses down from us. I'm in one. The one they stole is on that side of me. Right now it's to the left of me, but if I was facing the road, well, it'd be right. But so on one side of me is my stolen house, and 3 houses down is the lawyer, judge, probate lawyer that chummed up to my grandparents. And I don't know if that was just a ploy or not. I don't know when he was dragged into this, at what point. But I know he was in. He knew my grandparents were red drummed. He knew this woman had had a desire, and he took a bribe. He took a bribe. He took a few bribes to keep doing fake reports. They did this illegal court case, and he made it a hidden court case or something like that, and so that I would never find out about it. I don't know why it's not on a record or anything, but they stole this thing and all that, and then there was a trust fund in the stock. So to get access to that, they needed the lawyer's help, I guess. I don't know. I'm still trying to find out all the details. That's why I haven't really done this. But he stole this property from that was in my will, my mother's will, and or maybe my grandfather's. I don't know. See, number one, Kim was an aide, a nurse's aide. That's all the training that he has. Yes, I forgot that part. she is a transgender so that he can take over, turn men into women, that they, really like they want to be women. See, the devil's been trying to, or the archons have been trying to take over this world with the NWO and all that, and they, New World Order, in case you don't know. Uh, they want, their agenda is they're all male species. They hate female species. They think the female species has no place on Earth. And they want the females to turn into males. They want the males to turn into females, so that we're all in misery and trauma and that, which is what the Archon's agenda really is. I have a, a playlist that I'm going to share in my description box. Please, do not let me forget it, Holy Spirit. Because I said the other day that I was going to link some things in my description box, and now I forgot what they were, so they're not linked. But this playlist needs to be and will be linked. It's about the archons and the things the things that they do. And then also I have another playlist, by the way, of the Gate program and MK Ultra, and maybe one video that talks about MK often MJ Ultra, which is how they attacked President Kennedy, and then MJ 12, MK often, OFFEN, not OFTEN, and then MK Ultra, yeah. It's way they attack us. If you've had a child, and you were a hands-on parent. Say I was. They can, like, she next door in the NSA. She's got all their tech equipment up there. Or maybe it's Elon Musk's SpaceX satellite up there. I don't know how the MK Ultra works, but they had it here, and it was next door. They were using it on us, and they've used microwaves. I've heard now that they're using sound waves. Anything that they can try and get in that I haven't covered in a prayer, they'll try and use. And they just keep finding out that it don't work on me. But they do. Like, if you've had, say you're a hands-on parent, and all of a sudden, your child just starts acting, and you're having these knockdown, drag-out fights and that over things. Most of the time, I mean, I know there's teenage angst and that, but when they're much older and there's no reason to have angst, and you haven't had angst all these years, there's another reason. Okay, you are being targeted to cause misery, because these archons, they turn it into money somehow, and they turn it into energy. They use our energy, and somehow they turn it into money. And it's our energy from fear, anxiety, strife, misery, drama, trauma. If they can unalive someone, they can. And oh yeah, that's Kimmie. Kimmie and John, the two out of the three people in that photo. I've heard that they're really popular at funerals. That's where they do their social work. Come on, where's the folder? Oh, it's right there. Come on. Maybe this one's lighter, so it'll show up better. Or worse. Kimmie and John. They like to frequent funerals. They played under the guise that they have something to do with Penn Methodist Church and their deacons. Well, they only use the deacon part when it's helpful to them. By the way, I'm seeing this face up close. Oh, I got it there. That's a good angle. Does that look like a he or a she? I don't know. I can't tell. I think it was born female and got male parts, but never went through the rest of the transition. And then John Boy, well, he likes kids and men, and she likes women, and Holy Spirit calls her bush muncher. But she prefers women, but she will use men to get what she wants. She really despises men. I think it's from a childhood injury that she got when she was young and never got any counseling for it. And perhaps she was even a childhood gifted program recipient, and it wasn't what they laid it out to be. Yeah, they're testing the gifted, okay, to do this black magic and see how evil they can turn them. That's what the project is. And in the meantime, they'll get misery and strife and drama and all that out of their investment. Um, that's how the U.S. has gotten all its money. Uh, yeah, it is. It's how the U.S. government for all these years has gotten money. The if you look up the presidents, many of them, including the founding fathers, were Freemasons. Um, it's not a good thing. It's a secret society, and they're just eager to take over the world. Oh, there's a lot of pictures on here. Okay, so I just have some notes. I'm just going to read through because I don't know. Let's see what the notebook's got. I have so many. This woman has done so much. I don't even know where to begin, okay? Um, she's Rick's cousin. I'm told they're kissing cousins. And she they've had a relationship over the years. I'm not, I don't know if it's total incest, but I know that's not off Kimmie's radar. Yeah, she likes to be called Kimmie, and I never knew that. But when you're psychic and Holy Spirit tells you a name, it's the right name. I didn't know her name is Kim. Kim. I don't even think it's Kimberly. Uh, Kim Conanar, and now it's Kim Conanar Bagley. But she likes to be called Kimmie, because she's a child and she really acts that immature. And the thing is anybody that gets to be friends with her in that, especially the actual way, they take on her personality traits. It's really horrible. Um, okay, I'm just going to read these. Well, first I should read those notes. Okay, so I'm just going to read down through. Kimmie is why it's shut down. Well, you can tell how old these notes were. Food stamps, government shutdown. Kimmie is why it's shut down. And then another note is where is Doge money anyway? Why did number one, the governments are given money for emergencies, and if there was ever anything that should concern the citizens of the United States, it should be a food shortage for its citizens instead of guns, bombs, MK Ultra money to pay practitioners and gang stalkers to torture me, which, yep, that was on their budget. They get the sheriffs to do it, and the sheriff did it here. This sheriff here, yeah, he's only got his job. There was another better sheriff in there, and he wouldn't play their game, so they got rid of him with an SA charge. Kevin Henderson, his name was. Um, and now I couldn't tell you this guy's name, but also there's a mayor in my town. Can't tell you his name. Palumbo? Is that him? Um, I don't know. I live in Canandaigua, New York. The whole administration is very crooked. We're working on getting it. Like, we got rid of DA Jim Ritz. He kind of went out. He's still got to pay up some kind of uh, justice. He's not just walking away after, oh, we put a lot of criminals away in 36 years, but how many of them were actually guilty, Jim? And what about you, Jim? What about you? So we got a Jason McBride in there, and I just hope and pray that Jason doesn't get tainted like these guys do. They feel pressure in that. Hopefully, Jason McBride, if tempted, will walk away if he's smart. Um, Also, where's the Doge money, and why was he allowed to run all our Social Security numbers through his AI? There's something more to that. There's something more, and he finds all these billions or millions, and then all of a sudden they're just gone. And meanwhile, he's in on this. Elon Musk is in on this energy harvesting thing. it's his family that's had the Neuralink, and that is it's injectable now, and thanks to Grimes' daddy who worked with MK Ultra. Yes, Elon's ex, who looks like she's now back in the picture. I saw an interview of her the other day, and she looked really sincere, and that she was just a normal mom. But now I've heard other things that they want to, like, you know how they name their kids, I guess, weird names, XAE14 or something. I don't know. But they've named, I guess they have two kids, and they named them really weird names, and they want to turn them into Android type of, like, what do you call that? Artificial intelligence. Thank you. Artificial intelligence. They wanna clone their kids somehow with that. And I know, I mean, if you look at Elon's kids, that's not natural. He's into cloning. He's into genetics manipulation. Um, you don't get that many boys. Actually, I've also learned that Elon's oldest child is a transgender girl now. But see, they do that to people. There's the brain washing, or things they do to their brains and manipulate them to, like, Elon was stealing his the child. He keeps having children to steal their energy, to siphon their energy. Kim's done it. I think Rick's done it. I'm not sure, but I think so because I know he has a sickly child. And it's not a child. He's almost 30, but he's been sick a long time. Somehow they find a way to steal energy off of these people, beings. I don't know. But so they took my grandparents out, and there was a one of them. I believe it was my grandfather. Uh, my grandfather. Oh, has a cold case of what exactly happened to him, because he was. I mean, he did. You can tell they were drugging him too because he had to wear a bag on his belly. He was like back in 1990. Excuse me, boy. There's some confirmation burps, and they're not even. Thank you. 19. He was. My parents moved into their home after they passed in 1993. So, however long it takes to get a house through closing, and maybe old Wally there, the lawyer that screwed me over in the with the will, the inheritance of my. Let me see. There was a Gerber Trust, Gerber Life Insurance Fund, and then when I was from 1961, no one ever knew. They wouldn't tell me. They never told a soul. Just their lawyer, who they thought they could trust, and this aide, Kim. And she thought I didn't deserve it. She wanted it. No idea why. She, getting paid for my MK Ultra all these years, and also John Boy's John Bagley, my cousin, his dad, um, Chuck 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 Bagley. Um, they got paid for illegal human experimentation on me and my family, to make us live in the tiniest, most non-private home and have nothing our whole lives, and scrimp and scrape, and it's actually a program that the government runs on people to get them to accept less and be happy about it. That they're not homeless, at least, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, um, I should have written down better, but I've written this down so many times and I don't know where they are. And God's telling me, do it, do it, do it, do it. So I'm doing it. Or at least I'm starting it. And if I find, the more notes I find, the more I'll put out. Oh, yeah, that's something else. Okay, why is he allowed to run our social security numbers through his AI? Yes. And what's that about? Energy harvesting? Yep. And plus, they've got, now they've got all our social security numbers that's attached to us the minute we're born, and it tracks us. Um, Also, all mysterious MK Ultra directed energy weapons, microwave and scalar. That means MK Ultra. These shootings, these mind control, manipulation, all these random shootings, they're not random. They're planned. These guys get in, they've got intel in the AMD. I have never heard of anything, but it's the government and they went in. And they want you to follow the rules so that you can make your stuff. So they probably can compromise too. But AMD and the Intel, especially, I know for a fact, has backdoors in it that the government can get in and do things through these computer chips. And so they can, just like the Neuralink and that the Elon's putting in there. He says that it helps paralyzed people walk in that. If they can do that, if they can wire your brain like that, that thing can be re-engineered, backwards engineered. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Uh, reverse engineered. Thank you, Holy Spirit. That's the correct word I was reaching for. You could tell. Um, Reverse engineered. They can, if they can make your brain do this, well, they can make your brain do that. I mean, everything good has a bad side to it. At least in this duality world, the new world, God's wiping out a few things. That's why we're all going through transformations and awakenings and growth. The ego has to die. Uh, it just makes people more competitive if there's an ego involved. And God's fixing that problem somehow in all of us. He started with me. Not that I ever really had an ego. I really didn't have a chance to have an ego. And that doesn't mean I want one either. He just wants us humble and, just being good stewards of this earth. But yeah, these random shootings, they're not random. They they have okay, here's a for instance, these people, the NSA witch living next door, yes, they're witches. I got a couple other things I'd like to call them, but I'm being good. These witches, they oh no, I lost it. Oh, they hacked my internet. Okay, she came into my home, got my Wi-Fi password. Then also they've built Wi-Fi scanners, and right now she's got a Miyoko Muamo Ryoko Pro thing, hacking and stealing my internet. Or at least she did have. They're also hacked into my devices, so that, like, say if I make a video and the phone is left on Wi-Fi, but yet I'm not using it, they can still get into my damn device and steal my videos. Can you believe that? Or my pictures or any notes that I have in there? Anything. Okay? No, that's Android. That's how it's not safe. But then I've heard the iPhone is like a worse offender, which I don't know how they do that. But yep, but the government has backdoors into everything. So, oh God, 33 minutes. Um, and they put in fake text, like they sent Rick because he was trying to contact me, and he actually had bad feelings about this. He was kind of going back and forth, but every time he'd want to go and be honest, she'd do her magic on him. And, she's got a whole coven of supporters. And then plus she's been paying people. I mean, she was giving him money so that he was paying her money to do readings on me because she's some kind of tarot reader. Yeah. And then, and it's all fake. She don't know. Ish. Um, But yeah, he was giving her money to do readings on me, and she was just stealing my stuff and then telling him whatever she wanted to tell him. And I don't know. I lost that too. I'm sorry. They they just have been attacking. Oh, Rick was trying to thank you, Holy Spirit. the Rick was trying to get a hold of me and actually go straight, I think, and at different times during this, and he actually grew a conscience, and they didn't want him doing that, so they kept doing magic on him. And how they do their magic is sex rituals, like a daisy chain of bodies, male and female, whatever, and they also do in, well, that's um, animals. I forget what that's called. But animals for rituals. They, and especially children. And they're masons, so they have built-in holding storages like for these kids, and they've been in. I mean, this whole thing, Diddy mess, California Hollywood mess, the government mess, the leaders that want to blow up the world. They don't care who's in it. They've built bunkers underground. It's all black magic stuff. They've been doing it for years. Also, on a side note, though, I learned that every pope, I need to check it, but I'm going to put it out there because I'm very sure that I'm right. Every president and every pope that we've ever had is all from the same line of people. That's what I've heard. I heard the one quite a few months ago, and now I just heard the other one recently from Washington all the way up. All these presidents are in have been related somehow in a familial line, a heritage line, whatever you want to call it, a genetic pool. Thanks, Holy Spirit. I saw something's going on with Obama. Boy, they're after all the old presidents, huh? I don't know. Oh, that's another thing. Before I get on with my little story, I heard yesterday that there's going to be no more Democratic parties because the Democratic Party is the one giving away all the stuff and using all the resources and making all the back backhanded deals and back corner deals. I don't know what you call it. Backroom deals. Uh, so there's going to be only Republican and Independent. Which, yeah, I voted Independent once, maybe twice, and neither one didn't even get close because they that stupid electoral college. What is the point in having all of us vote if that electoral college still changes everything? That's just a scam. It's such a scam, and it's been that way since Clinton was in. Uh, uh, I don't know. I just remember hearing differences when him and Al Gore were running in that, or was it Al? I don't know, but Al Gore was in there one time, and um, that's when I first heard about it. Okay, enough of that. And so Kimmie here, the redhead there, that's my twin doppelganger clone, whatever you want to call it. See, the government's trying to get her to be like me, and they're trying to get rid of me so that they can do their evil things because I have special gifts from God and they want them. And I'm on God's side, I'm on God's team. Uh, as long as it's possible for me, I'm going to be on God's team. I've seen the other way, I've lived the other way, and there was never anything in it for me. I really never got into partying and going crazy and that. Yeah, I had my wild teenage years, or just a very few, but mostly, even when I was having wild teenage years, uh, my sophomore year, when I was my sophomore to junior year, I was working 10-hour days opening up a Burger King. Me and another girl that I did meet working there. We were giving, actually, there's three of us, um, giving up our summer to work 10 hours a day, because if you worked 11 or if you worked 10 hours, then you got a free hour, a big whoop. But when you're a kid saving for a car, hey, I got nothing else but time, so let's do it. Um, so I've always just worked. I worked as soon as I could babysit at 12 years old, and that was not fun. I had one baby. That's the only, oh no, I had two, but the one had a very queasy stomach, and she still does. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I earned my money at 12 years old. um, okay. MK Ultra slash Stargate program. MK Often program. They're still doing it. Human experiments on me, but they're going to die of AIDS, HIV, because the way they siphon it is intra-sexual rituals, orgies, interfamilial, doesn't matter, interfamilial, yep. That's the word I was looking for. Male to male, female to female, uh, all the above. See, when they do their magic, they need two witches. Oh, I forgot Mary Lehue Murphy. Yeah, I don't have her picture. That's why I forgot her. Yeah, there's a confirmation. um, yeah, this other person I went to school with, and that she's got a axe to grind or something. But yeah, it takes two women and one man. But since the one man's been fighting, they've had to be three women, and they've been at it for a while, just trying to get me get take me out, literally. They think and they've been doing it for we're on 2 solid years of, well, yeah, it was around October, but yet I don't know. This didn't really start happening until right around now, through just before Christmas, I guess. Was my awakening time and the time that my gifts really were start turning on in 2023. Uh, Rick came in July 19th of 2023, and then we got together on August 10th to 11th in 2023. And then he gaslighted, love bombed me, gang stalked me. There's a couple other ones in there. Love bombed, gaslit, ghosted. That's not one. Love bombed me, third partied me, and something else. I don't know. We'd had a relationship over the years, but nothing. I never lived with him. We never even really dated. So I don't know what kind of relationship you would call that. I guess a friendship, but only really a one-sided because we never really cared. Um, he was going through some things. He had a lot of duality of his own, and that's all I'll say right now. Because this is about Kimmie. It's like a daisy chain of bodies. She wants to eat my brain to steal my powers and abilities. She wants to wear my skin suit because she can't be me. So she lowers her vibe to do anything for anyone and uses her body as a weapon to achieve it. This is the woman on OnlyFans that, they claimed it was me. And there was a video actually of me, and I know they've had other videos on me because they've had hidden cameras in my home. She got Rick to put them in, or when Rick rugged me and I was actually, we ate in it. He knew he had done it before, so he knew how long he had for me to get to sleep in that. And then they went to town on my house and that. And she had him under a spell. Then I could see it. I just didn't know what was happening, but I could see that he was just in a trance, kind of like doing what she said. I don't know. It was really weird. Like we'd be talking and we were socializing and having a good time, actually relating to each other and having a conversation. And she couldn't have it. She was listening in somehow. I think remote viewing. That's a thing too. Spiritual remote viewing. I haven't learned how to do it yet, but I know it can be done. And So she was remote viewing us, and she didn't like how slow it was moving because we were actually relating and talking civilly. And she's just not that way. She everything's about her. She's a narcissist, big time, big time. Everything's about her and what she wants and how it's going to be done, and it's going to be done her way or the highway. Um, I don't know, but anyway, so Rick put this on. Like, okay, we were in the living room, we were talking. All of a sudden, he disappears into the kitchen, and I'm like, well, that's kind of rude, you know. I'm sitting here talking, and you just leave the room. And then by the time I got up and got out there, because I had a couple of physical issues, and plus I just didn't know what he was doing, so I went out and the food's out and it's sitting open, and I didn't think anything of it, so I ate chicken tenders and French fries. Well, I didn't eat much of it because I really wasn't hungry and I wasn't planning on eating, but I did to be sociable. And and then um, and then after we ate, I think we came back in and he was sitting in one chair and I was still picking up the kitchen. The next thing I know, he's gone. Oh, he's in my room. I went in there and he's in my room already. On my bed. And he had hidden a camera, and then we proceeded to get together, and then uh, I woke up the next morning. Well, come to find out, I got really sick later on. They tried to unalive me again with COVID. They gave it to me once when before anyone had it, Kim and them. They were in on developing it, testing it, and planning out, mass execution of us, mass depopulation. Um, and I remember thinking after I got over it. I mean, it took me weeks. I had a real pure version of it. They knew I was leaving too. They had someone else in the house next door, and that guy was a creep. I just knew he wasn't right, and I never had a clue that he was coming in my room. Well, maybe he didn't come in my house, but he put something on the doorknob or somewhere that actually, he must have been in my house because I didn't go in the front door of the house, and that's the only where he could have put on the doorknob was these germs. But the only other thing I did was go in my room, which I had a door, and I, you know, turned the knob. And the next thing I know, 2 or 3 days later, I've got the worst cold I've ever had. But it was a perfect version of a really bad cold. I had to give him that credit. And I noticed that at the time. And then, this was, let me see, I got it February 29th, and then it was like April, maybe mid-March, and I was still dehydrated. I couldn't walk and talk at the same time. I was just very dehydrated, and I felt dizzy. I couldn't walk and talk at the same time. And it took weeks for the dehydration to go away. And I don't know. But actually, I died during that in my bed. No one knew. I woke up with the worst fever I'd ever had, but I had a dream, and I never have dreams. And it was a conversation with God, and like a gladiator stadium, where the king sits up here and his minions and that are sitting around him, and then there's the arena or whatever. It was like that. I was sitting up here across from the table, had a conversation with someone, didn't have any memory of anything else. Found out over this last year and a half that I actually did die during COVID, and that God said, no, you're on a mission, girlie. You're going back in, And I had already had my heart stopped twice because they bribed a doctor to put me on a really high medication and it stopped my heart twice. That she gave it to me once, no big deal. All right, they gave it to me again next time, only they cut it down a little bit, and it still put my heart out. I mean, I was out the first time. I was in the hospital for 5 days, in a coma for at least 2, if not 3 days. The second time, it was only a day or so. Must be. I can't believe it didn't get me worse. Or maybe that was the vice versa. Maybe it was 3 days, then 5 days, because I really wasn't fully recovered from the first time yet. Believe me, it takes a lot out of you. You're weak. You can't. You don't have the strength even to to breathe right, um, and your heart to beat at the same time. It took a while, but luckily I'm a physical person. I don't sit around and watch TV. I've never sat around and watched TV. I have sat around and watched movies for way too many years because of a neck injury, but that was only because I had a and I never had cable or anything like that. I had it here and there when they'd have special deals, but I never was a TV person except when I was a kid. Brady Bunch, Partridge Family, those kind of things. Um, Bewitched, I Dream a Genie, Nanny and the Professor. No, that's not the one. The Girl with Something Extra, and there was another one, and they were all about magic and ghosts. Yeah, Nanny and the Professor. That was about ghosts. Just Mr. Ed, the talking horse. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And then the rest of the time, I just like cartoons. Tom and Jerry, uh, Bugs Bunny, and I don't know. I'm not a real Porky Pig fan, but Bugs Bunny and or not Elmer Fudd either. But yeah, they had some good ones. But um, and I was gonna say something now. I just watched cartoons recently, and they were good. I was surprised, but I forget what cartoons they were. Um, okay. So she wants to wear my skin suit. She can't be me. She lowers her vibe to do anything for anyone and uses her body as a weapon to achieve it. Yes, like this lawyer. He wished for something. He wished that he could be part of something evil or bad or something exciting. I don't know what the words that he used, but the universe heard him and they granted his wish. They gave him a chance and he took it. She granted him a three-way, and I believe this other woman was used. Kim, the other Kim that's in my stolen home. I haven't had any confirmation on that though, but I know they've been partners for a long time. So this woman, oh yeah, okay. So the video that they filmed of me and my ex Rick, um, doing it, they used that as blackmail in case I got mouthy, and and plus the real reason behind it was Kim had taken out a life insurance policy, or maybe she had talked Rick into taking it. I don't know, because he technically he was married to me, even though I've never said I do to anyone. Wally did a fake marriage, not only a fake mental health evaluation and lots of fake reports saying that I had done this or done that was crazy, and that this is why he had the right to give these people authority over my money. And they said they were, Kim said she was taking care of me, or maybe it was Rick, I don't know, but yeah, it must have been Rick. But he was taking care of me, okay, yeah, he was giving all my money to her. Uh, but God had it, that was God's plan all along. I don't think Rick knows that though. This is the woman. So Kim is the woman that's in there's an OnlyFans video that is also, see, they've been making money on me. I've had my own Truman Show, which I know a lot of us have our own Truman Show. It's not just me. And I live in a town that's like WandaVision. It's kind of like that, or the Disney or the ABC program that had all the Disney characters. Well, not Disney, but fairy tale people like Rapunzel or Rumpelstiltskin, and I don't even know. And there was a chosen one in there, and I forget what that was called. I totally can't forget that. But I was never into TV or anything, and I didn't even know the thing existed. But my friend years ago, I said, "So what's up?" Oh, I've been watching this and that. So I checked it out, and I did watch almost the whole series. I did, but it was from pirate form. It was not on TV, so it was like one right after the other, binge watching. But when you're down with a neck injury for over 30 years, you got to find ways to kill to 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 fill the time. Um, so I did I learned how to pirate, and I learned how to do some movies or get movies in that, and that was our cable TV. Because songs, music's fine, but a lot of them are love songs, and if you're not in love, then what's the point in listening to them all day? And then uh, I forget. Yeah, my energy's waning. But this is the woman. She took on 100 people, and she tried to say that it was me doing this so that they could get the 5150 to stick better and just get me put away. And see, the government either wants you institutionalized in a psycho ward, in jail, institutionalized, working your butt off, having no life at all, chasing your kids and chasing your errands and chasing buying things for your home, like a 50-year mortgage. Give me a break, Donald. Give me a break. These homes aren't worth it. These homes aren't even worth 30 years most of the time. Uh, you know, you go look at a house that was built in the 30s or the 50s, and then look at these new things today. Junk. Total junk. Um, so she lowers her vibe to do anything for anyone who uses it. But okay, so she took on 100 people, men. They stood in line. Can you imagine being like the last guy or the last 10? um, what do you? I don't know, but I know they've been doing it spiritually for years. To me, they had my ex letting men stand in line to grape me spiritually for over 30 years now. Uh, since the 80s, he started doing this, letting men, and it drains on your energy. You wake up after sleeping all night and you're still tired. So you start drinking cases of Diet Coke, and it's got nothing to do with needing caffeine and being tired. It's got everything to do with them stealing your energy. Because I guess I had a very healing energy, and they made lots of money off it. And this is this woman's idea of, getting me out of the picture. See, she wanted Rick, but yes, she didn't want Rick. She she just used him in for whatever she could get out of him because he had special talents, and he had a lot of unresolved childhood issues, and he didn't stand up for himself or think much of himself. And that's what the government wants us to do. They want us to just put ourselves like the last person on the list. And we are in God's image. We should be higher on the list. It should be God first, and us second, and others third. So the hidden cameras, they were in my home, in my shower, and they were using Amazon's Alexa database because Elon Musk just recently invested in Amazon with Jeff Bezos, and so he got rights, just like he was a partner with Palantir guy, Theo Thiel Peter Thiel Thiel. They invented PayPal together, and I guess Thiel invented this surveillance program that all world leaders use and the world everything uses. Palantir is the people that designed that, and he funded J.D. Vance's the political thing, the campaign, political campaign. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Um, he funded J.D. Vance. They want J.D. Vance in there, so we don't want J.D. Vance. We do not ever want J.D. Vance. I'll never forget. I've seen Elon Musk, and I just got the, the first time I ever saw his face, I didn't even know who the man was or what he did or nothing. I just could see demon, and then J.D. Vance. I not only got that impression, but also he was the first vice president that ever had an agenda, and I thought that was just wrong and BS to the fullest degree. I just knew there was something evil behind that. Then if he already was on a mission, and now look at what went on with Erica Kirk and that. True, she's with Charlie's manager of Turning Point, but she also they she's in with the black magic and those kind of things, and that's what it was about. The getting rid of Charlie, and that their mission was still on target. But God's like, no, you took out one of my angels, and he was getting all the kids, the ignored kids of the world that have been latchkey kids and raised by computer screens or tablet screens, phone screens, and really have no ideology of God or religion at all, let alone how to be a productive human and take care of this world. They just have not been educated, and the government has been trying to get it that way. Um, the archons want this earth. It's not up for grabs. So anyway, this woman is on the OnlyFans SEX marathon. She took on 100 men and pretended she dressed up like me. Uh, Excuse me, boy. Every time I say something like that, I'm burping. Otherwise, I'm not burping. Um, Hidden cameras in my home, shower, and using Amazon's Alexa database through Elon Musk. And they put a tracker and thing in my car. And then they bribed Spectrum employees because of cell phones and Verizon employees. And even I smashed one phone because I knew they were in it. I had no internet all of a sudden one day. How does that happen on a cell phone? And I knew they had been in it anyway, so with pleasure, I smashed my first phone ever, and I still don't have one. And this was in 2024? Yeah, like October, November of 2024, I think. Um, and I'll never, I don't know. I'm sure I'll get a phone at some point, but I don't think it's going to be a smartphone. A lot of people are going back to the flip phones. You need something when your car dies on the side of the road, but you don't need a smartphone. And those apps and they are those operating systems. The first phone that we ever had, 2006 or seven, and then in 8 or 9, smartphones came out. Or no, what was it called? Android came out. Android came from Verizon and Google. They made this operating system. But before that, they just had the internet on there. And they saw that they could make some money from data. Those phones worked flawless. There was no reason they had to be replaced except for greed. Except for greed. And the frustrating, infuriating part of this is the internet was invented for free. Just like our electric power was invented for free by Mr. Tesla. Just so many, or not by Mr. Tesla. Mr. Tesla did something, but there was the our electric. What is that? Graham Bell? No, he did the telephone. All these things were supposed to be free, and the government has found a way to charge and charge and charge and charge. I don't know. So Elon Musk, Neuralink, Tesla. Uh, yeah, Elon Musk Neuralink. I've said it in other videos. It's injectable with a shot. I have a camera in my left eye. It's very injectable. During this gang grape, they injected me with one, and they've been watching me. For a while, I wore a patch over it, but I'm like, I whatever they're gonna do, and I that's just wrong. I mean, it would have been 2 years I would have been wearing that freaking patch. And maybe it would have healed my eyes better, but it's impossible when your eyes are going bad and you really can't see and you gotta no. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I have a Neuralink camera in my eye so that they can control me, but God removed it. When I got really sick after Rick had been here and we did our thing and he ghosted me, whatever else you want to call it. I don't know. Big breadcrumb. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Breadcrumb to me. That was a word that I learned. And that one was in the Bible. So was gaslighting. Who knew? Um, uh, so they partnered with Musk for a Neuralink cam to expose. Oh, the Neuralink thing. It used to be like a calculator battery, right? And it had to be implanted while Elon targeted Grimes, or maybe she targeted him, and maybe the interview I saw wasn't legit at all. But Elon targeted Grimes, and because of her daddy was working with MK Ultra. Grimes' dad was in Oregon University in Oregon, New York. Yeah, in Oregon, U.S. And he was working. He was in with MK Ultra forever, and then he got into nanotechnology, and he miniaturized Elon's Neuralink. So now this Neuralink is like a man's sperm, and it breaks up once it's in your body, and maybe they're fishing around with the MK Ultra or some magnetic thing. I don't know, but I do know that the man sperm thing breaks apart, and it attacks each of your chakras so that they can control each area of you. So for their energy harvestation, and it's in the mark of the beast thing that they want to put on people, and it's technology. It's reverse engineered. Um, it's that thing that's supposed to make paralyzed people walk, but it also can make them do other things, just like his Tesla cars. Did you ever see the Doctor Who episode where they have those kind of cars, and it just blocks itself and drives the people down into the lake, and there's no way they can get out of them, and they actually expire in these cars. Anything can be reverse engineered like that. Uh, so I don't know. Good luck if you have your Tesla and your Neuralink. I don't know what sales pitch they gave you, but what's wrong with GPS? That's a good enough invention. Um, Neuralink. Oh yeah, and they were trying to watch me die on camera for their own life insurance policy, so that they could go and get. This was like a $28 million life insurance policy or something. It was exorbitant, and I don't know how they came up with that number. I just know it was a high. Well, first I heard 10 million, and then I heard 28 million. So I don't know what that's about. Uh, they partnered. Actually, the 10 million was last Christmas around this time. And they actually, Kim dressed up as me and went to the bank and cashed my check and got caught on camera for bank fraud. And so did the bank manager. uh, it was ordered because of who I am. Oh, yeah, the Neuralink camera was ordered because of who I am. I don't know what that means. I've never gotten any other confirmation. Whatever that means. They've sold my ID, my soul, my body, spirit. They've created fake death certificates, fake birth certificates. Uh, the will, she changed the will that my grandmother left me in inheritance in. The house, the Apple stock, and the money, the life insurance from 1961. Yep, they created fake certificates to validate it. Um, she's stolen my ID. She's been pretending to be me. She's had credit cards in my name, businesses in my name, PPP loans in my name, businesses, and they're all failing. Tax evasion. I think she got Rick to do that. Just buy stuff and then don't pay the taxes and hang me. Well, guess what? I'm still around, and now you guys are left to hang because the truth's coming out. A fake power of attorney, a 5150 evaluation. There was something else it's called. Not a POA and not a 5150. There was something else to it. Bank fraud, court fraud. Yes, the bank fraud. Vince Yacuzo, CPA, who is the vice president of Canandaigua National Bank, that's holding my trust. That's where my trust was issued through. Wally is up over the top in the main branch there on Main Street. Wally's office is right up over top, and I'm sure him and Vince, old Vince, are good friends. And they've been having access to this account. They've had access to a device that had this account entered into it to get money out of it. And she's just plain old pretended to be me, period. When I was with Rick, they came in, and after, as I was rugged, they stole my ID, my birth certificate, and I was told the title deed to my mom's house, but yet I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. She still has it, but they probably took a picture of it and copy it. I don't know. I don't know what they did. I just know she had something to do with the title to my mom's house and the title to my house. But she's had that for years. Oh, and they washed the title. Wally, the judge there that looks like a snaky guy, he has a son and a wife that they do both do real estate, and they washed the title to my home just recently in the last year, and originally when they bought it, they did some fancy title work. And now, while he's gotten his younger son, well, his only son, his only child, period, in a heap of mess, and now the kid's got his business plastered on the side of a brand new truck that he has. That is thanks to me. All right. Here I have no car, no home, nothing. I rent a bedroom in my mom's house. I came to stay here when they got me evicted for no reason. They like making people homeless. So God's been chasing them around the world a bit. And, they did it to me over how many years, and they they are just getting away with a little bit of it. Um, and they can't handle it. You get what you give. You get what you give out. That's karma. And this story is a good. Oh wow, 111:26. Um, I heard they tried to get Trump to sign a treason warrant when they are the treasonous ones, including world leaders in that statement. Look at the Epstein evidence and all these humans imprisoned for many years on no evidence and railroaded civil trials by crooked, evil, secret society administration. Uh, Fake testimony. Yeah, they've been paying people to lie and say that I was doing things. They've been that the police are in with them. There's quite a few of the local sheriffs and police in my town, DAs, judges, you name it. There's. I'd like to find an honest one. There's a woman that I had a good feeling about, but now I'm wondering. But I heard she retired, so maybe she was a good one after all. Or maybe she was just smart and got out like D.A. Ritz. I don't know. But I had an experience, someone I knew had an experience with her, and she was very down to earth. So, I don't know. Fake testimony, fake witnesses or lack of witnesses, fake legal documents. Yeah, that's Kimmie's specialty. Life insurance fraud, identity theft, home invasion, thanks to Bushy's DH bullpucky, when they did 9/11 and then they made that Homeland Security branch. That's all just a scam. It's just a way so that they can do this energy harvesting to us. They can make it look like a target, like these people that, like the shooting in the martial, where they're now putting martial law. That was a setup. That's a lie. That's a freaking lie. That guy. That's what I was gonna say earlier. Is Kim's got the internet hacked over there, and so they made it look like I was sending, like Rick was trying to get good, and felt guilty, and he wanted to tell the truth, and so they sent him texts that I sent, even though I haven't had a phone in over a year. They sent him texts from me because they cloned my original phone, and they've had him under magic, so he hasn't really. I don't know. Maybe he hasn't known what's going on. I don't know. I'm still gonna learn, but I know they've been backstabbing him too. Um, I don't know. Hidden cameras in my home. Known Truman Show. Revenge porn, yeah. My ex did create revenge porn. I don't know what I did to him to get back at me, but we'll talk about that someday. Or maybe we won't. What's done is done, and it served a purpose. It woke my ass up. And that's what all this was supposed to do, really. It was my catalyst to awaken. And then he's supposed to awaken. Well, I think it did that too. uh, revenge porn at my ex to get back at me for who knows what. Not getting on my knees like his sucking hole. My clone, whose transgender wife, who is secretly a bush muncher but likes the money this he has given her over the years with siphoning my energy and everybody else's energy. Oh, that's one thing. Kim gets paid to break up relationships and create strife and misery in that. And I don't know if Rick knew that. She's been getting paid to break up his relationships all these years. And he's been going to her when he's broken up. So that really lets her do her magic on him. I don't know. Sometimes we really have to give up the nasty habits, the mind altering substances, and really see what choices we're making in our life. I think he's done that too. God's 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 making us both new. I don't know what he's doing with the other world, but I know he's starting with us too. I know, he keeps wanting to meet, and it's like we don't even know each other, and he never knew me to begin with. But I don't know. I'm amenable to whatever God's amenable to, and he's been telling me, leave all these things which are not for your highest good. So, that relationship was not for my highest good. And God's got a plan. I don't know what it is. But yeah, while I'm on that subject, Rick, I forgive you. I don't know that quote yet. For we wrestle not with. Anyway, it's Matthew, and we wrestle not with something something, but principalities of darkness and evil and general. Well, I got my computer right here. Give me a second. Well, I'm glad I looked it up. Not Matthew. It is Ephesians 6:12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So yeah, I. It's the demons that are in people. And right now my mission is Rick. That's it. Nobody else. Everybody else has got issues. And things to figure out and grow from. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what God's plan is. I don't know. But yeah, I don't even remember what I said. I guess, Rick, I forgive you. I don't remember what I did say. I know we're supposed to have a conversation. It's been supposed to happen for a few months now. And I don't know. I mean, when God tells you to leave a situation and that's the only situation you got, I don't know then why I would want to talk and get involved in that situation again. But also, God made me do something recently, give up all my money, and trust Him. And so I did. And immediately, as soon as I did that, God's like, "No, I don't think so." And then, so I don't know. I told them I'll keep it, choke on it, which wasn't a smart thing to do. But they wanted the damn money, and I don't know. God's got my back, and God's had my back all the crap they put me through, and over all these years since the '80s, and I've always kept my head above water, and didn't suffer horribly. So I really don't care. And I made wishes last year at a certain point, and it wasn't really about money. Money was not mentioned once. I needed a few things, and I've been deprived of in 64 years of living, but I never asked for money. So, but since my grandparents left it for me and they were murdered over it, then I guess, I should get it, right? They wanted me to have it. Also, Uncle Ed. I want to say Uncle Ed was, which was John Boy's uncle that was my my landlord after his dad George Ledoux died. That really evil. Oh, that might have been on the other video that I didn't get to finish. Um, yeah, Uncle Ed. I still think that he is dismembered somewhere around this earth, in pieces, in pieces. Uh, he said that Kim was lazy and a thief, and that she. I don't really know all the. He might have called her a fucking hole, on her knees and that. I don't know, but she didn't like it, and she beat him over the head with like a blunt trauma force. I guess he had, and the man was already very sickly, and he had a feeling he was dying. But then I'm not sure if it's my grandfather in that picture who was smart and knew he was dying, or if it was Uncle Ed. I know there is someone that's dismembered by these people, though, or at least this woman, and that's that. Who? Maybe my grandfather. I don't know. There's one spirit that just can't rest until the truth about this comes out. Um, so the truth of this needs to come out, Lord. Please, whatever I haven't touched on, please enlighten me, so I can get this done. So getting on my knees like a dick fucking hole, and my clone, his transgender wife, who's secretly a bushmuncher, and she's into everywhere. She's in with these celebrities. She's in with energy harvesting. This is where they all know each other from. She's obsessed with celebrities and like the Kardashians.